Welcome to Ellis Mowers and More. On today's video, we've got a Troy Bilt here in for some repairs, just general maintenance. We're going to replace the drive belts and the blade engage cable on it. In this video, I'll show you how to do both. Let's go ahead and get started. So this is what we're going to work on today. Troy Bilt Pony. This is a 2009 model year. If you go back to the back here, I've already taken the battery off. Just a couple of, usually 7/16 or 10 millimeter. There's a couple little brackets that go here that just twist and slide out. And then your model number sticker. This is the model number that this one is, a 13AN77KG011. And then the fifth number of the serial number will get you the year. So this is a 9. And just by telling and knowing these mowers, this is a 2009 model year. So, belts, again, look a little rough down here, which is why we're going to replace them. They're most likely the original belts. This lady's taking decent care of this machine, and it's just time. So what we're going to do to start is get this mower deck off. In order to get this mower deck off, there's a clip right here. You have to push this piece in right here so that you can get the deck belt off. You just kind of push it down and push it back, and then you take the belt, slide it off of both sides, right? Take this clip off. There's a second clip right there. There's one on the other side, and then the last clip you've got to take off is actually for the cable, which, I guess technically I don't have to do in this case because we do have to replace the cable, but that is right there on this mower deck. And then there's your other cotter pin that we've got to take off. So I'm going to take those clips off. That'll be time to remove the mower deck on it, and I will show you how to replace the deck cable, and then we'll get into the drive belts. So I'm going to show you the deck cable first, and I may show you a little bit of the belts while we're here too. But if you look here, right up under where my finger is, maybe I can show you in the window, that's where the cable clips on. Now obviously this cable's loose because it's fallen out and broken, but your mount for it is right here. You see that? So you just take a pair of pliers and knock that out. It does circle around. It looks like it goes into some sort of clip over here. Right. Let's see. Right here. It's a little red clip right there in the center of your screen. And then it goes over to the mower deck. So I've got to pull it off of that clip. Shouldn't be too hard because it's just a little clip in there. And then I've got to take it off of that piece right there. And that's all in order to replace this. Obviously you have to take the battery and stuff out. To do that, I'll show you with everything installed again what it looks like. The drive belt, transmission belt, it's better to start with the upper one. Get the upper one off first. You do have to have the brake. Let's see. I think you have the brake pulled off. Let me double check here. So that's the brake off. That's the brake on. So you want to have it in 7th gear, or the top gear, and that brings the belt as far back as it possibly can. You should be able on this model to squeeze a 15/16 impact socket right here in order to get it off, and an extension I usually do. And then you should be able, because this belt pulley goes right up against the frame, so you have to take that pulley loose in order to make that happen. Now back up front, the first thing you want to do before you take anything else off, there's a spring attached to that pulley, and that's going to be on this side, and it's going to be attached right there. So just take a pair of pliers or a little pull rope and pull that spring off. To get that tension spring back on, Get you some pull rope or a shoestring, thread it through there, and then pull it with that shoestring to get it back in this area. We'll show that assembly here in just a second, but that is how you're going to take off the drive belt. It's hard to show me actually doing it because of how little room there is for the camera and this, but that's also how you take the rear drive belt off and how you're going to take the cable off. So I got the rear belt off. Now, as you can see, I took an impact to 15/16. I was able to get it around this in order to get it off, which is nice. But again, I took it off of the front pulley first after I took that spring off. Used a pull rope. You can see the pull rope's attached to it. It goes through the little hole. That way when I can pull it back, I pull it through the hole and clip it back in place. It makes it a lot easier than using pliers and stuff. So the front one now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set the parking brake. And what that's going to do, I don't know if I can show it to y'all both ways here, but parking brake, you see it move it forward, right? So I'm going to set the brake right there. And then when we go to the front of the mower, a 5/8 will get this off. Should, as long as it's not rusted or anything, because the frame is actually the mounts or the guides for this belt, and as you can see, it's ready to be replaced as well. The rear one is in pretty bad shape. As for the cable, while we're down here, you see I've got it hooked and clipped in to where it was supposed to be, and then on the back side it's clipped in and then hooked up top to where I showed y'all earlier. So that's ready to go after I get the belts on, and then I'll put the deck on, and then we should be ready to go here fairly soon. Again, this belt is as simple as undoing this, dropping this double stack pulley. You've already got this out of the way because you took the deck off. And then you go to the back, and you might have to take the Veridrive pulley off, but a lot of times you can just take the belt and roll it around these guides up here if you pull this Veridrive pulley all the way up now that you've taken the upper belt off, and you can usually get it off that way, especially after we drop the double stack pulley and get it off of the front. So that's the way I'm going to do that here next. Alright, so it's time to put the new belts on. MTDs are pretty picky about having OEM spec belts, so don't get the cheapo belts off of Amazon. This is a K-Force belt, but it is OEM spec, as you can see, and is designed to fit this specifically. 954-04001 or 754, that's the old part number that they used. So yeah, I don't know why this one's a 954, but either way, these will work just fine. This was the old belt. Whenever I saw it in there, this is when I told her, I said, let me go ahead and take this home, take care of the deck, the drive belts, because I've got to take it home anyway. The blade engage cable, because this was originally supposed to be just a service and to fix non-working blades condition. But here are the belts. Tip to put it on, I know it's a little difficult to film underneath the mower and stuff. Put it on the Veridrive pulley first. Put the lower belt on the Veridrive pulley first. You can, and basically just follow the reverse order. So lower belt, Veridrive pulley, put your double stack pulley on, put the belt on the double stack pulley, slide the double stack pulley up, bolt it in, make sure it's in the guides down there. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Then the rear one, generally what I do is I do Veridrive pulley first, and then the big transmission pulley, the one that has the little star key in it that I took the 15/16 off, and then we put it on that last small pulley on the back, or on the front right there, for the top pulley. Pull the spring, tighten everything up, should be good to go. You do have to wear these belts in a little bit, so sometimes you have to take off in like 4th or 7th or something like that in order for the Veridrive pulley to kick everything in, but we should be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and get these belts knocked out. I'll show you what the end result looks like before we end up taking it for a drive, and make sure that the mower deck works as well. So I ended up making a mistake on the rear drive belt. The front one is 954-040. 001. This one is a 954 or 754-0241 for the rear. So I'll have the links to the correct belts in the description just so y'all have them. So we're going to put this belt on, but I want to show you on the front here what that looks like. One more time once it's all together. You do have to go over top of this cross member here for the brake. Once you do that though, start it back on the Drive pulley, which isn't too bad. As long as you can get the angle right and everything, you can roll it around the guides and not have to loosen that up. And then you bring it over top of this, over to the double stack, and make sure that it is inside of the guides for the frame before you bolt everything down. Pretty easy overall. And then we go back here. I'm going to put it on the Drive pulley first, and then put it on this main pulley for the transmission, and then last but not least put it on the front right pulley right there. Big help whenever you do these to put the front belt on. Put the parking brake all the way down, and then to put the rear one on, let it all the way up to the highest speed. That Drive pulley moves forwards and backwards and makes your life a lot easier to put these belts on. So I got it all back together. One thing I do want to show y'all though, and one thing again I can't recommend this highly enough. I want to thank my friend Rick Brorman for the tip to get that spring that I showed you. Again, a little bit of pull rope, you hook it around the edge, you pull that. That way you're not fighting pliers and fighting fingers and things like that. And you hook it right on, and 9 times out of 10 that works beautifully. One thing that happens with these mowers sometimes is when you change the belts out, you gotta I don't know if it's like a relearn procedure or whatever you want to call it, but sometimes it won't go in like low speeds. You have to get it up to a high speed to let the Drive pulley do its thing, and then you're good to go after that. So I'm going to see if this does this here. I'm going to try and start it at a low speed, and if it doesn't go, I'm going to jack it up to a high speed. Just make sure you have plenty of room, because this thing will take off, and you want to make sure that you're okay. And the blade cable, I haven't put the deck back on. I just kind of tucked up underneath the mower so it didn't go anywhere or drag or cause any issues. So let's see what we've got here. That's exactly what this did here, is it, I put it on speed 2, I don't know if you could hear me, but it wouldn't go. I've jacked it up all the way. Everything with the Drive pulley worked itself out, and now everything works. You just have to do that kind of as a break-in, one-time procedure. Once you do that, you're good to go. I'm going to put the mower deck on. We're going to make sure that the deck is good, and then we will hopefully be done with this thing. Send it on back home. Alright, mower deck's back on. Again, it's just that clip in the front, 2 on the side, and the 1 for the blade cable itself is all that holds this on, so it's not too bad. Some of them are quick connects depending on depending on the age of it, the model. Some of them like the Broncos and the Super Broncos. And again, this is for this model. I'm going to put the belts in for that. I would highly recommend you check the model number sticker on the back of your mower to make sure that these belts are the ones that you need, and the parts, you get the correct ones that you need, because the cables vary between the years, the belts vary between the years, and between the models of mowers. So you need to make sure that you have the correct thing. The one thing that really doesn't vary is the actual deck belt. But transmission setups are a little bit different. So that's good. Everything seems to be working like it's supposed to. So I'm just gonna run it for a couple minutes, blow it off because there's a little bit of pine pollen that got on it from where it sat, and we should be done here pretty shortly. So there we go, guys. That's everything on that Troy Bilt Pony. I already parked it in the back before I filmed the end of this. Those mowers, and that's a 2009 model. She bought it new, and like I said, it's either the original set of belts or the second set of belts, transmission belts that were on it. So got that taken care of for, I'm sure it was the original blade cable. Just a couple of maintenance items with something that's, what, pushing over 15 years old now. So if that's all you got to do to them, then hey, let it roll, right? Even if you take care of the cheap mowers, they'll generally last you. But it's kind of like cheap cars. A lot of people just abuse them, just like, you know, cheap mowers. So, but she's back going again. I'll return in a couple days, and she'll be ready to go. Hopefully for the season now. Hopefully this video y'all found helpful. Obviously, I have a lot of work to do here, so I'm just trying to crank out these little quick videos, how-to videos that hopefully are more helpful as opposed to me rambling on about things that y'all don't really care about sometimes. But hey, I really do appreciate y'all watching. Hopefully y'all found this video helpful. If you're needing to replace the drive belts, again, just check the model number of your machine. Find a parts manual online, get the right belts, get OEM or OEM spec belts, not generic belts off of Amazon, and you should be good to go. And again, blade cable, not too bad to replace either, as long as you got the right tools, right? Thank y'all again. I'll catch y'all on the next repair video.